ready to learn.
This may feel familiar to some of our OU fans. The history of Halloween Horror Nights is full of spectacular spoopiness. The creative minds behind the event are known for bringing iconic horror films and shows to life, but some of the most beloved haunted houses that have been featured are original ones. Houses not based on any TV show or film, but are created solely by the imagination by the art and design team. Some of these original houses have gone on to become popular franchises in their own right. In this video, we'll take a look at one of the event's oldest and popular original franchises, Scary Tales. Let's get the basics out of the way. The gist of the Scary Tales franchise is popular fairy tales that have been doused with nightmare fuel. Scary Tales has been featured at Halloween Horror Nights for 6 different events, starting with Horror Nights 11 in 2001, and last appearing at Horror Nights 28 in 2018. Scary Tales' first year at Horror Nights 11 has quite the interesting story that impacted the franchise going forward. Original plans called for the event to feature Eddie, a chainsaw-wielding psychopath who was the icon, and Scary Tales was originally known as Terrorland. Same idea, just different name. Unfortunately, due to the 9/11 terrorist attacks, Universal thought it was best to change the event to make it less violent. Therefore, anything that was blood became green slime or ooze. Eddie, thought to be too violent to be featured now, was booted in favor of a returning Jack the Clown. Words such as terror or blood were changed out on haunted houses and scare zones, including Terrorland, which now became Scary Tales. The premise of the first Scary Tales had guests enter an abandoned carnival where famous fairy tale characters, such as Alice, the Mad Hatter, and Little Red Riding Hood became, well, scary. Due to the success and popularity of the house, Scary Tales 2 returned for a sequel as the event shifted over to Islands of Adventure for Halloween Horror Nights 12, Islands of Fear, the event's first year at the then new park. Constructed in Popeye and Bluto's Bill Drap Barge's queue, the story of Scary Tales 2 saw guests enter the world of fairy tales gone wrong, and featured a returning Scary Alice amongst other popular characters. Much of the house was also meant to disorientate guests, using camouflage scare tactics. Scary Tales 2 was also impacted by a late event change once again. Originally, the icon for the event was Cindy, a little girl where every character, house, and scare zone would be visions from her disturbed mind, which, yes, included Scary Tales. Due to a string of child abductions around Orlando, Cindy was eventually dropped, and so her ties to Scary Tales. The franchise will go on and take a pause until returning in 2008's event, Reflections of Fear, with Scary Tales Once Upon a Nightmare. With Bloody Mary serving as the icon, a running theme of haunted houses that year was phobias, so Scary Tale played off the fear of books and poetry, specifically happy endings. As such, the story for the third version saw the bad guys as the victors, as in, Hansel and Gretel aren't escaping that mean old witch's oven anytime soon.
Look at that wonderful shoe.
Characters included the Evil Queen as the main baddie, Little Red Riding Hood, the Tin Man, and of course, Alice.
Back. Alice!
Alice!
The Alice?
Along with the Queen of Hearts. It's also worth noting that Scary Tales Once Upon a Nightmare was the first house to be built in the parade building. Scary Tales' presence could also be felt elsewhere throughout the event, as 3 of the featured scare zones could be considered spin-offs, including Fractured Tales, which is an extension of the house located near the house entrance, Path of the Wicked, featuring characters from Wizard of Oz, and Asylum in Wonderland, where that darn Alice returns again. While not a featured franchise at Halloween Horror Nights 20, Scary Tales would return as a scene in Horror Nights The Hallowed Past, a haunted house celebrating 20 years of Horror Nights. I'll let you take a guess which character was featured.
Did you miss me?
Scary Tales would return in several forms for another anniversary year during Horror Nights 25, most notably as the Scare Zone Scary Tales Scream Punk. Located in the Plaza of the Stars, Scream Punk put a unique spin on the concept, as the characters and design featured a steampunk aesthetic. In the event's marquee anniversary house, Jack Presents 25 Years of Monsters and Mayhem, one of the first scenes features a nod to Scary Tales Once Upon a Nightmare's Goldilocks scene, and birthed the legend. And yes, with it being an anniversary year, Scary Tales wouldn't be Scary Tales without an appearance from Alice, who headlined her own house with Asylum in Wonderland 3D, a sequel to Horror Night 18's Scare Zone. Scary Tales was last featured in Horror Nights 28 in 2018. Scary Tales, Deadly Ever After, now featured the Wicked Witch of the West as the main villain, who has seized control of the fairy tale realm and afflicted the land with a dreadful curse. Characters included the Cowardly Lion, Humpty Dumpty, Little Miss Muffet, and more. Here's Patrick Braillard, Creative Development Show Director, talking about Deadly Ever After.
The Wicked Witch is taking control over the entire realm of the fairies. All of those nursery rhymes and stories that you grew up with are now corrupted. The good characters have turned bad, and the bad characters have now grown worse.
It's no question that Scary Tales holds its place in Horror Nights history as an important foundation of its growth. With countless ways to spin the evil fairy tale angle, we'll undoubtedly be seeing the franchise return to the event in the future. And that's the history of Scary Tales. Let us know in the comments what franchise or icon you'd like to see us cover for our next video. Make sure to subscribe and get notified, and as always, stay tuned to Inside Universal for all the latest on Universal Parks, including Halloween Horror Nights.